Hello, this is Doctress Neutopia, and this is Lovevolution Village. And I am here to create paradigm shift. And that's why you are here too. We have the same mission. We cannot do it unless everybody does it together. And that's just how it is now. We have this divided consciousness that is destroying the planet. And I'm going to start a slideshow by looking at this division. This is a artwork that's at the University of Arizona. And it's a brilliant piece. It's about the border, and you can see people are holding it up, and just, it speaks for itself. But this is the situation that we are in today. We are a divided world. We're putting up walls, and we need to get rid of this whole idea of borders. I think that we are seeing, with all of the WikiLeaks that is happening and the exposure of all these secret documents, that we are living at a time where there's no more privacy, that we have got to be transparent. And the WikiLeaks activists are saying that that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to show that we need to live in a transparent society. As long as we have walls and private bank accounts and all of this privacy that we live with, then we're going to live in a world of violence, of the have and have-nots. And we've got to start being real if we want to survive as a species. I know that we're changing as a species. All of our technology and biotechnology and bioengineering is creating something else, and we could become monsters. And some people could argue that that's what we've been so far, and the brutal way we treat each other is that we have created a race of monsters. And now when we're on the verge of going to Mars and exploring outer space, we have got to find our humanity, because do we really want to go and explore the universe as monsters? So we need to go back and look at some of the great thinkers of the planet. One of these thinkers is Socrates, and here is an image I did of Socrates. And you know, there's something very mystical about being an artist, and I'm a digital artist, and I bring these ideas together through images. And this one just worked perfectly. I didn't plan it this way, that his head, his brain would become the planet Earth, but that's what is happening here. And Socrates talked about this idea of global citizenship. And he considered himself not to be Greek, but to be a citizen of the world. And that's where we are right now. I declare myself, I am not a citizen of the United States. I am a citizen of planet Earth. That's the progressive thinking. That's the evolved consciousness that needs to happen on this planet for each of us to adopt Gaia in their brain, so that our hearts can open up to the oneness that we have to do in order to feed people, to bring shelter to everyone and health care to everyone. This is the way we do it, by embracing the global brain. I am on a course right now with a wonderful lady, Barbara Marx Hubbard. I've taken many courses with her because she is a futurist, and as some of you know, I have a doctorate in future studies from the University of Massachusetts, and there are not very many people with this degree. In fact, I'm really a misfit. There's no institution that allows for futurists to teach. That's why I'm on TV, because the university system, there's no place for someone like me to teach future studies. And then I met Barbara Hubbard, and she is also a misfit, but she's not so much anymore because her fame is making it so that she can teach these cyber courses over the internet. And this is where people who are what Leonard Yearwood called geniuses outside of the academy are doing, because there are a number of us who are into conscious evolutionary thinking, and we just don't fit into the institutions that we live under. And one reason is because our institutions are based on nationalism and competition and destroying the other rather than creating an infrastructure of peace. So this is Barbara Marx Hubbard's idea of this. She calls it the will of co-creation. And what I did during her course is I put an ecology on top of the wheel, because this is the vision I have, which expands her vision or crystallizes it so that the next phase of conscious evolution is to build this magnanimous city. And if we don't, then what? We're just trapped in urban sprawl. We continue on the road of destruction that we're seeing presently as our forests are being destroyed and the ocean is becoming acid, and all these environmental problems are being caused because of the way that we treat our habitat and live in an unsustainable way with nature. So this is the sacred story, is how to build the ecology. And ecology, I realize today, is really a symphony of ideas. It takes all these different spokes of the wheel of co-creation to come together and form this new city design. Now, when I walk on campus at the University of Arizona, I realize this is where my heart is. This is where I should be teaching and bringing together this symphony of ideas so that we can build this ecological city design. But right now, I'm not there. It will take a lovolution and the evolution of revolution to bring thinkers like myself on campus so that we can have future studies as the center of education, as the hub of the university. And if we start thinking of the university as an ecology, an ecological city, then we can start thinking about an infrastructure of what that might look like. In Barbara Hubbard's course, she calls this online community a chrysalis. And what she's talking about is the chrysalis is this womb that we're all involved with, like the caterpillar becoming a butterfly. And there's this stage in the cocoon where the ideas are forming. They are starting to manifest itself when we break out of our old structures and institutions so that we can start flying. And that's where we need to be in our minds. We need to be butterflies flying to places that we've never been before. We have to get over the fear of change. That is the worst problem that we have, this fear of change. Eventually we change and we go into death. And reading about Socrates today, he talks about that. You know, our whole lives we're preparing for this great change, this metamorphosis of death. And right now, as a species, we're looking at the death of the old civilization pattern that has created urban sprawl so that we can start manifesting the new city design. Here is an image of this evolutionary archetype change in architecture from the single-family house, which is this American dream, which has turned into an American nightmare, into building this most communal architecture, if you think of an ecology as a spacecraft, a city that might be in the L5 region of the planetary atmosphere in outer space, like a space colony. And we have to love the biosphere in order to not destroy it in a space colony. That's our most precious system. It's our life support system. And so in an ecology, we realize that so that we can find a way to enhance our biosphere, our atmosphere, our oxygen supply, and so that we can go out and be pioneers in the cosmos.